Hey everyone, it's Annie, and today is day 16. It's all about stretching, right? Stretching in the morning to get your muscles going and telling your muscles to wake up. It's a brand new day. So there is some stretches on page 20, I believe, on the resources. I will go ahead and share that link there. If you guys do not have it, you should have it already. But I do want to go over two of the stretches on there really, really quick because it doesn't really have some of the information that I should think that should be on there. So on page 20, it's called 5 Simple Stretches to Start Your Day, right? So really quick, it is basically just the child's pose, the reach for the sky, neck and shoulders, recline spinal twist, and the quad stretch. Okay, so I want to go over reach for the sky and the neck and shoulders because these are things that we could be doing while sitting down. And I want to really emphasize on getting the stretching done. If you can just kind of move around every hour, because a lot of them, we need to get the circulation in. It's very hard. Like people just kind of sit. I mean, even me, I have to catch myself. I have to set alarms to remind me to get up. So that's how I get by with that. So let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, so hopefully you can read that one. So on reach for the sky, so you're basically just reaching straight up. You can be sitting on the floor, but you'll be sitting in your chair on a sofa, right? If you're watching your TV, just always be stretching and moving. And then I actually just like to do one reaching. I don't know if you can even see me. Let me do this here. Okay, yeah. So we're going to be reaching one, right? So you're trying to reach the sky the whole time, like there's a ceiling there and you're just trying to reach on it. So you should feel the stretch here, okay? But I do want to talk about the stretching a little bit, and I'm actually not, I used to do deep tissue massage, and I don't do that anymore because deep tissue massages actually activates the stretch reflexors, and so the stretch muscles, the reflexors in the muscles, and once the muscle is activated, what it's going to do is also is going to cause it to contract. Right. So it's really good to have a stretch, but you don't want to have a full on stretch. It kind of just have like a gentle stretch. Like even when I'm doing the massages, I will tell them I don't do deep tissue massage because if you think about it, you feel so great after a deep tissue massage, right? But it doesn't last long because what's really happening is when you get that, it releases a lot of lactic acids and also causes your muscles to contract, which is opposite of what you want your muscles to do, which is to relax. But you feel so great afterwards because you have a lot of endorphins release and you're like, oh my God, this feels so great. I could do this forever, right? But then the next day you're a little bit sore. And depending on which massage therapist which massage person you went to, you can have some bruises on your back, right? But it does feel good during that time. So always be careful when you're stretching. So I don't really do full on stretches. I'll just do enough just to get that circulation going. And then so we have one here also for the neck and shoulders. A lot of people like to really just yank it down, right? And get an even longer stretch by pulling that in. But just don't overdo it. Right. So one of the simple ways for doing the neck and shoulder stretches is also just to look straight ahead and go at a 45-degree angle and then bend down and then just softly, just gently, not too much. Okay. In the instructions here, it says to put your right ear over your right shoulders and then stretch down. But don't stretch if especially if it's painful, you don't want to stretch too much on it. So for me, I'm going to talk about my gadgets. Okay. Bam. I actually wanted to share. I was looking at this. I don't even know what this is called. I found it in this. I found it in an Arcadia Mall when it was still open. Wing. I don't know. It's that store at the outside part where they have all the herbs and spices. But this is actually called. What do they call this? A plastic scratcher. Plastic crust scratcher, $3.99. I don't know what else it's called, but it basically, the guy had to show me. I was like, what is this? But it's basically a way to just kind of get the circulation going. Actually, let me see here. And just tapping everything here, right? So you basically, this is what I do in the morning when I don't have this, but just wanted to, we're so excited to show you this, but you want to just kind of tap from your extremities and then just kind of tap straight up. And then also tap right over your shoulders, especially where it's super tight. Instead of stretching, you want to just tap. Oh God, that feels great, right? Just tap, just try it right now when you're doing it, but start from your fingers and then tap all the way up. So this is part of the Qigong process that we do, which is part of the Brendan Burchard training. And so there's a whole thing here. I may go ahead and do an example of how to do it, but then also kind of just tap the lower back. It feels really great. Yeah. So, but this one also, if you can't reach the back, what's great about this, I guess that's why it's a plastic scratcher, is for like the upper back, you can just kind of tap it on here. So it's awesome. So I really, really like this. And then for the stretches, like for the legs, a lot of people like to use that foam roller. It's really, really good. Just be very careful not to stretch too much to activate those stretch reflex muscles. So if you stop and think about it, right, people who work out all the time or are super, super buff, like being toned is great. You don't want to be anything over toned, because when you're buff like that, right, I could walk around with my guns right now. But that's basically what they're doing. 24 hours a day, their muscles are contracted. Right? Their muscles are contracted all the time. That's why they have that buff look. So you don't really want to have that buff look. You want to have your muscles kind of being relaxed, because that's a lot of work for your muscles to be contracted 24 hours a day. Okay, so tone is the one that you want to get. And a lot of times, I forgot the name of the book, something about what's wrong with you, what's really wrong with you. It sounds like a relationship book, but it's not. It's all about muscles. Of all of our organs, muscles are the only ones that there is not a specific doctor for. So a lot of people didn't really study muscles too much, but there is one person that did, and he wrote this book called What's Wrong with You. I don't think that's a name. Thomas Granger. I will find it, but I read it a while back, and it really stuck with me, and I actually started to learn this neurosoma massage, where it actually talks about, instead of getting the deep tissue massage, is to just kind of roll over your muscles wherever it's kind of sore, because your muscles are in layers. Right? So stretching them, you don't want to stretch them. Just go in layers where it feels really, really tight. And like even here, if it's tight, you just kind of roll it and it feels super, super awesome. And then I talked about this gadget, my circuit, right? My chirp. This is a chirp wheel. So I used to use the ball to stretch my back, but this one actually I really love. There's a little space there for the spine, and it's a very gentle roll, very gentle stretch, not too much. I like that it does stretch my belly a little bit, but I don't stretch too much on it, but I like this. And then the foam roller, again, don't put too much pressure on it. Another one that I use, again, and I still could not find the name of this, but if you can find some kind of roller, and this one is actually made so that it's supposed to be for your feet, and it goes over all the reflexology points and rolls all over it, and feels actually great, but I like to just use it on my arm. So the whole thing is about getting circulation and movement throughout your muscles, right? And then one of the things I do like to use, it's upside down. Bam, my deep blue, right? I talk about the deep blue all the time. You just need a little bit of it, a little bit, okay? A little bit at a time. Works really, really great. I like to put them on my lower back all the time, because that's been kind of tight lately. And then always, 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 even when you're stretching right in the morning, I like to put the breathe on. Again, breathe directly under your nose. There is a breathe touch. It's very, very useful. You don't have to get the oil on you. You just kind of, but be careful. If you have very oily skin, there is coconut oil in here. And for some people, they kind of break out. For me, it works fine. So those are the ones that I like. But again, think about your muscles and be kind to your muscles. I do want to share this story in that book, where I talked about people getting back surgeries and how a lot of people who got back surgeries actually end up being worse. And one of the things to consider when your back is really sore is our bodies are so amazing that your people get it back, your spine will go whichever way, right? So, and your spine is going to go in the direction of where your muscles are contracting. So in this book, talked about how this guy's spine was kind of this way, and how the reason it is because on the right side of his back, the muscles were so tight that it's pulling the spine towards the right. But then your body, knows that it shouldn't be that way and will try to compensate. And so this side will try to go ahead and compensate to get this back, right? So now there's this whole back and forth things with the muscles trying to make sure that the spine is right. And then you go ahead and introduce like the nerves being pinched, right? So, but long story short, basically the way that he helped him was to basically just kind of go over those tight muscles every day, gently, layer by layer. And he was able to escape back surgery just by loosening up and getting that muscle to relax. So the whole point again is to get your muscles to relax. And for you, again, actually, I forgot to mention the lavender, right? And the serenity is to also get you to relax. A lot of times people will ask me whether their muscles are kind of cramping. So some of the oils that I will recommend, lemongrass is one that really, really helps with cramping. And then also I'll use past tense for people who have any issues in there. There is lavender in there as well. But lavender is one that I rarely kind of used for muscles, but it is a really, really good one because again, it's on an emotional level. It's always going to help you calm down. And then for the muscles, it's also going to help the muscles to relax. Marjoram is another great one for muscles. So I will go ahead and find that book because I think it's a very underrated book. I did talk to him. I went to visit him. I got one of the, oh my gosh, I didn't share my other gadget. I got this thing. I forgot. It's this contraption. I'll go ahead and share it next time. But I think there's something that came out that's like a Theragun. I'm still not sure if the Theragun is a really good one for the muscles because if you are going to use it, do it very, very gently. Don't push against their muscles because you don't want to activate any of the stretch reflexors. And that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.